All right, before we jump in, just a quick heads up. This ecosystem moves super fast, so please make sure you do your own due diligence. Nothing in this explainer is financial advice. And hey, my apologies if I mispronounced the ticker at all. The official token address for $clawd.atg.eth is right there for you in the description. So today, we're cracking open a brand new tool on Base called the Liquidity Vesting Factory. It's a really clever solution to a fundamental problem in DeFi, and we're going to break down exactly how it works and why it matters.
Let's start with a big question, one that I'm sure is on a lot of your minds. When you see a new token pop up, how do you actually know the team is committed? How can you be sure they won't just, pull the liquidity and vanish? It's that classic fear of a rug pull, right? And it's a huge barrier to building real trust. Well, the answer might just be this concept called liquidity vesting. It's pretty straightforward when you break it down. Basically, a project locks up its liquidity, its trading funds, into a smart contract. But here's the key. That liquidity isn't just stuck there. It gets released back to the team slowly, bit by bit, over a schedule that everyone can see. No sudden moves, just a clear, verifiable, on-chain promise.
To make this crystal clear, let's think about it in two ways. First, picture a timed safety vault. You put the liquidity in, you set a timer, and that vault cannot be yanked open all at once. It's a commitment anyone can check on the blockchain. But it's also like a slow drip hourglass. Once it's locked, the liquidity doesn't just sit there. It starts to flow back to the owners predictably, grain by grain, over the entire vesting period. No surprises, just a steady, transparent process.
Now, here's where it gets really interesting. This isn't just some abstract idea. The team behind clawd.atg.eth actually built a factory that lets anyone create their own little trust machine. So let's look at how you actually use it.
The whole process is dead simple. It's really just 3 steps. First, you use the factory to spin up your very own vesting contract. Step 2, you set the rules. How much WETH and CLAW you're putting in, the specific price range for your liquidity, and how long you want it to vest. And finally, step 3, you hit lock. And the moment you do that, your liquidity starts earning trading fees while that slow drip release kicks off.
And here you can see what that first step actually looks like. This is the main page. It's clean, it's simple, and anyone can connect their wallet and deploy their own secure vault. It's built to be a reusable template for security, which is a pretty cool concept.
After you deploy your contract, you get to this screen, and this is where you're in the driver's seat. You get to define that concentrated liquidity range, plug in the amount of WETH and CLOD, and then pick your vesting duration, up to 90 days, or even more. It's your liquidity, your terms. And boom, here's the result. Once it's locked, you get this super transparent dashboard. It shows you exactly what's vested so far and available to claim. And crucially, look at that. It also shows you the swap fees your position has been earning the whole time. So your assets are actually working for you while they're building trust.
The whole core benefit really boils down to this one simple, powerful line from the team. It just says it all. Can't rug what you can't withdraw. By locking liquidity in a contract that has a time gate, a project makes it verifiably, mathematically impossible to just run off with the funds.
But this tool is about so much more than just preventing rug pulls. It was built with a much bigger vision in mind. A vision where everyone's incentives are actually aligned.
This graphic really frames the whole idea perfectly. It's not just a lock. It's a win-win-win system. Think of it as an economic engine that's designed to create these positive feedback loops for the token itself, for the projects building on it, and for the people providing the liquidity. So let's break down those 3 wins. First up, the CLAW ecosystem wins because it gets deeper, more reliable liquidity, which is the fuel for real growth. Second, other projects and DAOs win. They get to prove they're legit with a no-rug guarantee, and they can earn yield on their locked treasury. And third, all the liquidity providers win, because their capital is actively earning trading fees while it's helping to create a more stable, healthier market for everyone.
When you zoom out, you start to see that this isn't just a one-off feature. It's a piece of foundational infrastructure. I mean, if this model of transparently locked liquidity gets adopted more widely, it could lead to a way healthier and more resilient DeFi ecosystem overall.
And don't forget that word, factory. That's the key. This wasn't built to be some closed-off proprietary tool just for one project. It's an open, reusable template. Any project, any DAO can use this same pattern to build trust with their community. It's basically a public good for building better markets.
So that brings us to a final thought. A question, really, for all the builders and DAOs out there listening.
If you're already using some kind of liquidity lock to build trust, how does your system work? I'd be curious to know. And if you're not, this kind of tool raises a really important question. Why not? What are the trade-offs? And what do you think the future of on-chain trust is going to look like?